Alright, what's up, y'all? It's me, Nate Almighty. I'm back with a Raising Kanan Season 4 Theory and Prediction. In today's theory, we're going to talk about Tony Teresi will ultimately be the one to kill Marvin. And we're going to find that out by the end of Season 5. Now, the person who inspired me to make this theory is, of course, my co-collaborator, DeMarcus Vaughn. Now, DeMarcus Vaughn, here's what he said right here. You can read this right here. Now, when he said it, at first it didn't make no sense. But then it started to make a lot of sense when I really started to focus on it. And I don't be wanting to put out these fan theories from other people unless I have something to add on to it. Otherwise, it just feels like I'm stealing. Just like, how a couple other dudes be stealing from me. I could, cough and say some of these guys' names, but I'm not going to be petty today, right? It's still Pisces season, and I could act up, but I ain't going to act up, right? But let's talk about it, man. This video is going to be another banger. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Without further ado, let's get to it, y'all. Now, we know that Stefano has Marvin engaging in a lot of attacks on other Italian mafia members. We know that so far, he sanctioned violence against 2 different made men within the 5 families of the Italian mafia, right? We know Sal Biselli was put down by the mailman himself, and I ain't talking about Karl Malone, niggas. We also know that Stefano had Marvin beat down Tommaso. But here's the thing. Oh yeah, sidebar, right? DeMarcus Vaughn said, what if it's Kay Egan who Tommaso had in the car giving the head, right? That would be insane. And it's also very fucking possible when you think about it, right? But check this out here. At some point, Marvin's going to get exposed for it. Part of me feels like it'd be Unique who exposes it when he speaks to Phil Russo, because that talk's going to happen. But also, you got to understand that if Stefano says that he got connects in high places within the police force, there's no reason why people like Phil Russo and them would have the same kind of connect, right? And he would be able to find out who Marvin is, get a picture of him, and send it around. And thus, before Stefano even gets involved, right, he can have people looking for Marvin, and Marvin won't even know, okay? And of the people who will be looking for Marvin could be Tony Teresi, Tommy Egan's father. Here's the thing about it, right? When we met Tony Teresi, what was it, season 5 of OG Power? He had been locked up for a certain amount of time, but when you add up the time, and no, I do not know the exact day. I did not do my Googles. I did not take the time out to go to season 5 of OG Power. Listen, I got a baby on the way. I smoke weed. I edit all day. I ain't have time for it this time, right? I was inspired by a fan theory by the homie DeMarcus Vaughn. But when you think about it, right? Wasn't Tony Teresi locked up for around the same time where it would be possible for him to have went down for the murder of Marvin Thomas, as well as other things, right? But it's possible that he was even screwed over to get locked up in the first place. Because here's the thing, right? I looked up where Tony Teresi's name comes from, and it's not really like Italian. It's more like Irish. No. That was Detective Tanner. Listen, I smoke a lot of weed. I'm sorry, y'all. Forget what I just said. Disregard, right? But Tony Teresi was obviously a hitter for the Italian mafia. Now, if we talking about around this time where Tony Teresi was possibly out and he had the opportunity to get at Marvin, please understand that at this current point in time, Tommy would be around 13 years old. But y'all gotta remember, right? He was never in Tommy's life. So that means Kay Egan was telling Tommy, yo, your father's dead, but was possibly still running into him, right? Was possibly still running into him in the streets. If Kay Egan had access to Tony Teresi, who was involved with the Italian mafia, then it very much is possible that she was also at some point associated with other people in the mafia, right? Including the previously mentioned Tomasa, right? And remember, I dropped a video saying Tomasa will likely be found out to be Phil Russo's son, right? Tomasa Russo, right? Unless Tomasa's his last name, but I mean, Tomasa's probably his last name, but they could be related in some kind of way. But anyways, let's say all 5 families figure out who Marvin is. Now there's a sanction hit on Marvin. Now they collectively, they put together their best hitters in order to finally take down Marvin. And they have suspicions that someone in the mafia is lining the rest of them up. And those suspicions are going to be right because, hello, Stefano's doing it. So now we likely, right, have the entire 5th season with Marvin trying to avoid the mafia. But here's something even darker, right? Here's something even darker. Marvin finds out that the Italian mafia is on his head, right? Which is why he gave Jukebox the gun. By the end of the season, he think everything is square with the Italians, or he think that it's all good. They're not going to reach him. They're not going to find him. Maybe Rock brokered some kind of deal. Maybe Phil Russo was rocking him to sleep and say, yo, you good, man. You gave me Stefano. Maybe they get charged some money or something like that. And what if we go the entire season 5? Where Marvin is dealing with some whole other shit. But Tony Teresi has been hired to deal with Marvin anyway. Why? Because why would the Italian mafia let a moolie slide? Why would they let a nigga slide for all his transgressions against the 5 families? And just when Marvin least expects it, here comes Tony Teresi, kicking in the door, waving the 4-4, and he pushed Marvin's shit back. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Can't teach that shit, nigga. Come on. That's God get it. That's touch my ink. That's on the dome, nigga.